everywhere, I'm socially young.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be sewing my Halloween costume. Doing a group Halloween costume? Yes. We're good? Alright. I'm doing a group Halloween costume with my boyfriend, his roommate, and his roommate's girlfriend, who are also our friends. And we are going to be a sexy barbershop quartet. I decided because I have the crafter's audacity that tells me I can make anything, that instead of going out and buying pinstripe vests, I'm going to sew them. There is a chance I end up making the shorts for this, but I've decided that I don't want to put that stress on myself. So we are sticking with just the vests for now. I got this fabric from Joann's. It's obviously perfect for a barbershop quartet vest, and I already made most of one vest. This is for myself. Mostly because I have this superstition that if I start filming and making content about something, especially something that I'm not confident at, like sewing, it's just not gonna come out. So I learned how to do darts, and I made this vest, a little tie front. And we are going to make the second one today, and then later we're going to make the ones for the boys. Let's go. So I already cut out all the pieces for the second vest. So the thing that I learned in making this pattern is I learned how to make darts. I am a pretty novice sewist still. Like, I've never really sewn much past just doing crafting and Halloween costumes. That's kind of how I got into sewing in the first place. That's how my mom taught me how to sew, was making our own Halloween costumes. She always handmade all our Halloween costumes when we were little. So, of course, that's why I was like, I have to make our barbershop quartet vests, because honestly, if we're gonna be a sexy barbershop quartet, like, I want to be cute, you know? Like, I've been wanting a little tie front vest for a while anyway, and so I figured that we could use this opportunity to, like, make something cute, and maybe something that I'd wear again. Like, it's a little costumey, but, you know, if I'm not in barbershop quartet gear with the straw hat and the fake mustache, like, I might not look like I'm getting ready to sing a 4-part harmony. Let's put darts in these front pieces, and I'm gonna struggle doing it again, because I did it twice on one vest, and it was a struggle, and I know that I'm still learning, so let's do it. If y'all have not met my charming assistant, Miss Charlie, she must be involved in every project that I make. Hi, ma'am. You're very good. And she will be assisting throughout the video in various ways, ranging from neutral to actively working against. All right, let's make these darts.
So I did YouTube several different tutorials for how to make darts, and they were not very helpful individually, but they were more helpful in the aggregate. So that's why it just took me so many different attempts to just get this right. I found that the best strategy that works for me is to use a pencil as a guideline to figure out how long to make the fold.
I'm going to scream. Why is this so difficult?
Frustration aside, I was finally able to figure out how to get it to lie flat, and I'm happy with how it came out.
We got it! That was a lot easier than the last one.
Once I remembered to turn my machine on, and with the darts pinned and pressed, it was time to secure them. Off camera, I pinned together the different pieces that I'd cut out, and now it's time to do the puzzle piece style assembly that is sewing at its core. I also was sure to overlock all the seams and go all the way around. I just do this by doing a zigzag stitch. Little did I know that I'd pinned together the shoulders backwards, and I would need to then take it apart and redo it off camera. Oops.
We have vest. Sewing is genuinely such a sweaty and active endeavor. Like, here I am standing over a hot iron, and then I have to go sit down and sew, and then I have to get up again and, like, organize my pieces, and then sit back down again and sew. It's just like up, down, sweaty. I have most of the vest assembled. I'm just doing the binding. I was doing the binding, and I have to iron this. And then I'm gonna do the armhole binding for this one. I didn't do it, and I lied, and I'm gonna do it. And then I should have 2 vests. This has just been a silly evening. Thanks for hanging out with me so far. Hello, and welcome back. For you, it's been a couple seconds, but for me, it has been 10 hours. The bobbin ran out while I was trying to finish up the binding on the first vest last night. So I rewound it, and I rethreaded the needle, and I went to bed. And so now we're back. It is Saturday. I went and I played Frisbee this morning, and we won, and it was so fun. And then my Breonna Stewart jersey came in, so I had to put it on immediately to make sure that it fit. And I treated myself to a pumpkin spice latte and avocado toast, and I'm having a great day. So let's keep this train rolling. Let's get sewing.
This project was my first foray into doing bias binding, and it is pretty friggin' tricky. I'm one of those people that kind of just full sends into anything that I'm doing, so this was just a process of learning by trial and error.
Okay, it's done. Actually, both are done. I did the armhole binding, and honestly, I learned a lot. I'm more confident doing binding now. I think that I was misinterpreting the instructions wrong, but now I see how it comes together, and I think I actually might cut the ties a little bit shorter. They're a little bit too long, but it came out so good, and honestly, it is pretty cute. 2 more to do for the boys, which I will be self-drafting, and they will probably be a lot simpler than this with the binding and the darts and everything, so we will be doing that another day. Okay, girl bosses, the time has come for me to do the guys' vests. I have completed 2 of the tie front vests. There are some edits that I think I would like to make, but those are for a future Fiona, because to be honest, I need to get through the vests for the guys before I can think about doing more friggin' binding, because binding sucks. Anyway, so I am not going to be using a pattern for the guys' vests. I'm going to be self-drafting it. I think I can do it. It's really not going to be that big of a deal. Let me tell you about my plan, and then I will show you how I execute it. So, I have this Lawrence baseball jersey. It's for the band Lawrence. And I have it in a size small, but I think it's a men's small, and it's a big men's small. It doesn't really fit me. It's too big. But my boyfriend has the same one, and he wears it all the time. So, that fits well. And I measured him, and I measured my friend John, who is going to be the other guy in our quartet, and he and my boyfriend Ben have the same chest measurement. So honestly, that was the thing that I was the most worried about, getting the sizing right. Length, I can edit easily. So I'm going to just use this kind of as a template. Yeah, pretending that there are no sleeves. I'm probably going to cut it here, just like this shape, this shape. That's gonna be a vest. Welcome to my kitchen floor. This filming angle is hilarious. I will be doing all of my scribbling work on the wrong side of the fabric, so that way we don't have to worry about it. And leave an inch of seam allowance, because I keep repeating, I'm not an advanced sewist by any means. And I think I'm just gonna start with the back, do that on the fold, so that way then when it opens up, it'll be symmetrical. And I will figure out the length and do all the math in real time. You guys are welcome.
I folded the shirt in half and tried to line it up as exactly as possible alongside the folded edge of the fabric. And then I folded the sleeve in, because that was really the shape that I wanted to make sure that I got copied, is the curvature of the way that the sleeve is cut. Now it was time to measure the whole thing, so that way I understood what I was working with, and then measure the 1-inch seam allowance all the way around, so that way I would have guidelines for tracing out the entire pattern.
This is literally how I'm gonna gauge if it's the right length, because my boyfriend is not that tall. We can share clothes. If it's gonna be like the right-ish length on me, it's gonna be the right-ish length on him. Okay. Yep, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna cut the other one using this as my pattern.
This was the real scheme because I am never trying to do any more work than I absolutely have to. That's why I can use the shapes that I've already cut out as a pattern.
Not that I really need like an inch on the bottom for seam allowance, but it's mostly just for sizing sanity check. Next, we must do the front pieces, which I'm actually kind of dreading. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we have vest. LOL. This is John's, and it's very big on me, but I think that's good because that means it'll fit him. I'm at a point with it that, like, I'm gonna do a hem, and I'm gonna do a hem, and I'm gonna hem it all. I could do a binding, but I'm like, do I really want to make it that nice? Still gonna hem it, because I was like, I could put buttons on it, but like, that's a lot of hand sewing. So, I was having those thoughts while assembling this, so I'm gonna sew the other one, and then I can iron them all, and then I can hem them, overlock and hem them all. I am being supervised. Do not worry, for I am supervised. So I posted my podcast number 3 today as of like filming this right now, and 2 separate people have shouted out on their Instagram stories that they watched my video. And it's like, it's so, I love when, I've never had that happen before, and it made me so happy. Anyway, thanks for watching this. I'm having a lot of fun. So glad that you are as well. 2 vests. I'm going to rip a very simple hem. And then I'll probably need to be done for the night because I'm going to hurt my back otherwise because I do not have a great ergonomic setup. It is the time of the night where I have to play active defense. Iron versus the pest in my apartment. I need you to get out of here. I am legitimately not going to be able to proceed until I can get her to go away. Because if I pick her up and move her, she's just gonna come back. Pet. I don't think that's going to deter her. She is currently staring at me like a crazy lady. I need to not be doing this right now. I'm gonna get her. She needs attention. We have vest. We have 2 vests. This is really simple. I just ripped some hems, and I might still do binding on the sleeves. Honestly, I think that if I just roll them in, then it's going to fit more like a vest anyway. So, I think I'm going to finish these tonight. Apologies if there is any background noise. Here we are, like 3 days later. I did not finish the vest, which is fine. I finished this one. I put my little tag on it because the binding wasn't long enough and it could have been my cutting. I added a little bit, so I just buttoned over my little edits with my tag. So I have one done. And then I'm gonna fix mine and then we will have vests. Also, since I am self-drafting the guys' vests, I did decide to change up the cut of the sleeves because I'm truly just making these based on vibes. I did get to do a try-on Ben, so we confirmed the fit because the fit on him is different than it is on me. And I think I'm just gonna do a binding because I'm doing bindings and I got leftover binding. I love to suffer.
I decided to cut the armholes a little bit wider and deeper so that way the boys would have more room when I did a binding. But I did all this on a serious time crunch, counting down literal minutes until I had to be at the party, but I made it! It wouldn't be a me Halloween costume if I wasn't putting the finishing touches on it right before I left. Now, as a parting gift, enjoy our attempts to harmonize to Charlie XCX.
Cat 360 when I'm in the mirror, yeah, I like what you see.
Yeah, 360, when I'm in the mirror, you like what I see. It's all about that.
I'm everywhere, I'm so Julia.
I'm everywhere.
Alrighty, and that's it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me while I assembled the costumes. My friends were more than happy to oblige me in helping out with some content showing off how awesome our costumes looked. I'm really proud of how they came out, and if you see me walking around town in a red and white striped tie front vest, that's why. If you enjoyed this vlog as much as I enjoyed making it, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe. I had so much fun doing this, so expect some more long-form content like this from me in the future. In the meantime, to get more frequent updates on my projects, you can follow me over on Instagram at Made by Fiona. I post something about my projects on there pretty much every day. It's mostly knitting, but I'm trying to do more sewing, and you can definitely expect that in the future. For now, if you got this far, feel free to leave a comment on what you're working on. I'm super nosy, and at this point, now I want more ideas for what to sew, especially now that Halloween's over. Alright, that's all that I've got for you. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!